Hello. Don't know what I'm doing. I just thought I'd start by standing up today. And oh yeah, I'm rocking the name tag. I'm rocking the cold seat, cold wet seat. Rocking the name tag, rocking the black uniform, rocking the morning. Hopefully rocking a little bit of life. But hello, Kendall. Good morning to you, and good morning to you. Good morning, Dan Orderkirk. Sorry about that if I'm messing up anybody's name. But my name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Thursday morning. I think it's June 27th, although I am not totally sure. Angel Wand sent me a GM, which means good morning. So good morning to you, Angel Wand. Yeah, this is Coffee with Ken. It's Thursday morning. I think it's June 27th. It's 5:55 a.m. Happy Thursday. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time, just over 5 years. It's a show about me talking and sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs that we all have in life. And it's just kind of sharing the story of one dude's journey as he goes through life, one cup of coffee at a time. Speaking of which, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am excited to take my first sip at this early hour. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Just got out of the cafeteria. I'm coming at you from Yellowstone National Park. I'm on the north side community, Mammoth Hot Springs, where I've been working as a waiter for the last month. Grew up in the Chicagoland area. Had a lot of highs and lows, which triggered this show. The beginning of this show, was offered a job out here, which seemed like a cool adventure at the time, but I knew the job provided some housing for me. Good morning, Lisa and Jack Taylor. So I've been working as a waiter for the last 4 or 5 weeks here in Yellowstone, and it's an interesting experience, and I'm doing my best to share the experience with you. One little chunk at a time, and one little morning at a time, and again, one little cup of coffee at a time. And I think if we go through life with our eyes open and our mind working, and I've always been a guy that's had an active mind, so sometimes struggle turning off my mind, and I realized about 5 years ago that that's okay. Just learn to manage it a little better and focus my thoughts in a little bit more productive way, and stop trying to cover up who I am by drugs or alcohol. So I stopped drinking, I don't know, coming up on 3 years ago. And it's been an interesting experience ever since, and I don't think I'll ever go back to drinking or smoking weed or because I don't know. I just don't want to. I think I'm better without. But anyway, I'm going to have another sip of coffee. Did my voice just get deeper? I don't know. Somebody asked me a moment ago if they have a essay that they're putting off getting started. What should they do? A couple thoughts. If you don't care, wait till the last minute and just crank it out last minute. Or I'd probably recommend commit to writing a paragraph of it today, the first paragraph. Sit down at your computer and type out the first paragraph, and only commit to that. Don't say you'll get half of it done today or even 10 pages done. Just get started. And whether you're writing an essay or working out or traveling across the country or buying a new RV, even a used RV, the hardest step is that first one. So I'd recommend just getting started on your essay today. Somebody said they're listening from a country far away. I wonder which country it is that's so far away. Have people hopping on from the Philippines kind of regularly. And so that's pretty far away. I can't imagine much further away than that. Hello, RJ. Good morning. But anyway, so I'm working. I'm working as a waiter, and I'm here in Yellowstone, and I'm a twice divorced guy. Somebody wants my backstory. I don't have time to give you my backstory today. I've got a whole library of about 3,000 videos for you to watch if you really want to know the backstory. And I go live every morning, and I talk about random thoughts. You're welcome, Bear. Hello, Elizabeth. Talk about random thoughts and things that are going on. And I edit all these lives into shorts, reels, and TikToks. And because of that, I have a lot of content to edit, and I'm working full-time as a waiter in Yellowstone and trying to get my rest where I can, trying to lift weights where I can, and trying to work into a routine. But I'm getting further and further behind in my editing. And I was suggesting somebody, if they want my backstory, they could go a few thousand videos back and watch it if they care enough. But it's kind of like that for me. It's like I'm going through a time machine, looking at where I was 3.5 weeks ago, and my thoughts 3.5 weeks ago, and seeing my progress and seeing my attitude change on a day-by-day basis. And I always have a fairly good attitude. Don't want to say hello from the UK. I always have a good attitude. Yesterday at breakfast, I think I was pretty grumpy. And I'd walk around and tell people I'm grumpy. I'd even tell my customers I'm kind of grumpy. But for some reason, the way I'm grumpy doesn't seem so grumpy. Because I'll go, I'm just in a bad mood. And I'll say it like that, and then I'll laugh about it. Because most people aren't so open with their emotions, and most people try and bury their emotions. And I don't know. I don't like burying my emotions. I'm an emotional guy. I got that from my mom. She was really emotional. And, sometimes it can get you in trouble, but sometimes you're meant to get in trouble. And I don't know. Let's have a little more coffee. What year did I discover I was a coffee guy? I don't know. I've been drinking coffee for, probably 30 years at least. 30 years. Sorry, I was covering my face with my cup while I was talking. You can't read my lips. About 30 years ago, when I was just graduated college and I was working my first real job as a stockbroker and working downtown, and would need the caffeine to get me up in the morning and get me working the phones and trying to sell my stock brokerage know-how to people over the phone. And I used to start, did I ever bury my emotions? I like that question better than the one about coffee. Sure. Most of my life. Look at me. I got a lot of energy. Can be kind of loud. School, I had to bury my emotions. In school, I had to bury my emotions at home a little bit. My dad grew up on a farm was born in 1940 in the 40s, and was raised by a couple Depression area parents, my grandparents. And I think life was harder back then, and they worked on the farm, and kids were meant to be seen, not heard. And didn't think it was okay to be who I was, and so tried to be like my older brothers and follow the rules and cross my T's and dot my I's in school. And I struggled with school, and I struggled at home, and I struggled emotionally because I was trying to be somebody else. And again, somewhere 5 years ago, I realized I had a voice inside my head that was a mean voice and would say a lot of negative things to me. And I'd struggle with anxiety, and I'd struggle with depression, and I'd struggle with a bad self-image because I didn't like who I was, because I was trying to be a salesman, or I don't want to say the good kid, like I'm a bad kid. I'm a super good kid, and I tend to follow the rules. But I have a free mind and a free spirit, and sometimes if you're in the wrong setting, a free mind and a free spirit can get you in trouble. And rather than change who I am, I decided to change who I was with or the environment I was in. And I don't hang out with people that I don't want to hang out with anymore, that give me a bad vibe or have a bad energy for me. Not saying they have a bad energy. I mean, they can go about their day being who they are. But I think life goes better and one can be more productive and one can be more happy and be more who they are if they find their people. And sometimes it's hard to find your people, and sometimes you got to look a long time and turn over a lot of rocks to find out what rock to lay under. And that's part of this show, is turning over rocks. But anyway, I have to work at 6:15, so I don't want to. I don't know what I want to talk about. I kind of want to talk about my RV that I finally saw yesterday. Finally, I've decided. I mean, I haven't totally decided, but I think I want to buy an RV. I'm a twice divorced guy with a lot of financial obligations, who's working really, really hard as a waiter, especially for a 55-year-old guy. As a 55-year-old guy, waiting tables 40 hours a week is extremely physically demanding, and I wake up early, and I often work late, and I'm tired a lot of the time, and my body aches, and it's okay because this is a short-term deal. I'm contracted to work here in Yellowstone till October, so it'll be 4.5 months beginning to end, and I kind of needed a kickstart and a financial the financial help that comes with working at a fairly costly, expensive restaurant for 5 months. So I do real well, but I work hard and I'm tired a lot of the time. And I realize this isn't forever. And living in Yellowstone, as probably most national parks are, they're just, RV stores for a guy that's interested in buying an RV. And they drive by and they ride by, and I go, hey, that would be pretty cool. I want one of those. I want one of those. And for a while, I was sure I wanted a C-class RV and started researching them. And a RV I've heard was available in my parking lot by a guy that works for Yellowstone like I do. And I saw it last night. It was a B-class RV, which is a conversion van. And it was a Ram ProMaster 2500. It was a 2019, and honestly, it had 200,000 miles on it. It looked like it was well loved from the outside and from the driver's compartment. But I realized on seeing it last night that the guy created it based on his needs and his specific needs. And he had these big solar panels that, probably were as expensive as the van is right now, because again, it was a van with 200,000 miles, might sell for $5,000 or $6,000 just the van. But he had these big fancy solar panels on it that were providing all this power for the van, which I thought was a good idea. But if you have power and it's not used the way you want it, and this could be a metaphor for life, that power doesn't provide much value. And when I mean it specifically with this, the guy had a refrigerator in it and a hot plate and a little, cooking toaster oven dry heat thing. But it was a really basic van other than that, and it had a queen size bed in it. I'd love the bed, but the van didn't have any heating, and it didn't have some of the, I don't want to call them luxuries. I'd call them necessities for me, like a heater. And I don't know what type of heating I'd want in there, but I'd certainly want it to be warm enough in my van where if I was spending the night in it on a cold day, I wouldn't have to bury under 20 blankets. And I'm looking at this refrigerator that he's got in, and it's the size of a cooler. And I go, well, I certainly would like a refrigerator, but I prefer heating. And if I had to, get by, I could deal with just having a big cooler with some ice in it and throw that in. And how often am I really going to use this hot plate to boil ramen noodles? I could just stop by a McDonald's if I had to, or eat cold sandwiches or what have you. So it didn't have, bottom line, it didn't have some of the basic necessities I'd need if I was not want the first thing that comes along, and to sit this one out. And it's almost just as important to know what you don't want as what you want. And I learned by seeing that van last night what I don't want. And that feels good. And because of that, my search is a little more fine-tuned, and I'm a little more excited and as determined as ever to find exactly what I do want. And I'm going to keep the search going, and I'm going to find the right thing for me. And God willing, the right thing for me is going to come along at the right time, and things are going to work out just okay. And I got a big day of work today. I'm working breakfast and lunch as a waiter, which means I'm going to be in that restaurant for the next 10 hours and working hard and running around. But after that, it's my weekend. My weekend's beginning, and going to have 2.5 days off that I'm looking forward to enjoying and getting some rest, and enjoying 2.5 days in Yellowstone. And not sure what I'm going to do, and maybe don't need plans today, but I'm excited about getting through these next 2 shifts of work and making a little money and working towards my dreams, and continuing the momentum, and maybe working out again this afternoon, and editing some videos, and moving forward, and drinking coffee, and saying hello to a whole bunch of people, and hopefully spreading a little cheer and joy along my path as well. And I'm looking forward to my day, and I hope you're looking forward to your day. I hope you got a great night's sleep. I hope your week is going well. I hope your June is going well. I hope your summer is going well. I hope your morning is going well. And I hope your coffee's going well. And I appreciate you so much for joining today. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for following along in my journey, and caring enough to watch my story one cup of coffee at a time. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself.